Back to Let's Talk About Baku podcast. So we're gonna name this Q&A session, the one that I promised last episode, and we're gonna take like 10 minutes or less answering some questions from our subscribers and those emails that coming in. By the way, please guys, keep them coming. I love them. Number one that I chose particularly for this time, for the very first let's say trial for Q&A, was what a typical day in Baku looks like. A good question. So if you're planning to live in Baku, if you want to be here for the next 3 months until the end of the year, let's say 2020 until 2025 January, the typical day depends on what type of job you have. It will decide your activities in Baku. If you're working 9 to 5, 9 to 6, which typical working day in Azerbaijan actually is 9 to 6, some cases 7, depending on your contract with your employer. 8 or more hours you're at work, then you're free to go. But then again, you will be faced with lots of traffic. Traffic is for the last 5 years, it's been a big headache for Baku city. Baku can host only 2.5 million people, and yet we have 4.1 million people living in one place. So be patient. Regarding entertainment, everyone is ready to entertain after 5 p.m. Restaurants work until 11. Most cases today, finally, they switched to 12 to midnight, which is nice. Before, there was no night culture here, and it's growing due to the demand. They understood, and they want to serve more people as more people are coming in to live and work and, build their careers in Baku. And thus, you have to prolong your working hours as a restaurant or a coffee shop or whatever. If you're not on the 9 to 5 side of the things, you are digital nomad. It's more hybrid. It does require you to sit a lot and work a lot from your laptop. Typically, you will go to the city center called cafeterias that are extremely nice to be in. My favorite to work from will be United Coffee Beans, next to the French embassy, which soon enough will be finally rebuilt and finally turned into a very nice small garden called Malakan Garden. They will finish it within the last 45 days, hopefully, because it's under renovation. It's very hard to get there because of that. So otherwise, we have open air cafeterias which are available in front of the restaurant street in Baku. You can go starting from Nizami Street, which is extremely famous on internet if you search for it. So left and right, south or north, everything and everywhere is filled with all types of cafeterias, including international labels such as Starbucks, Costa Coffee, Cinnabon, and Canadian labels as well. Second Cup is there. So yeah, but it's noisy. And for that, I would suggest and recommend to use United Coffee Beans. It's a local label, already going international, very nice coffee shop. It has 2 stores. The second floor is mostly for smokers, but it has that vibe to it that people are not so noisy. The music is kept to the minimum, and they do care about healthy food. So all the menu is extremely healthy. And they have vegan options. They have brownies that are vegan. They have drinks that are vegan. Whatever you feel like it. You can switch, you can stay, and they even have experimental menu with coffee. If you're not alcohol drinker, you can order coffee whiskey, which is not like literally alcohol. It's made out of coffee that resembles whiskey. I don't know how else to explain. I've tried it and wow. And you have to actually have to make it yourself. They bring you the ingredients on a very small plate made out of wood. And then you just mix it up. And they always put the card in English so you can read and how to mix them, how to drink the drink. So you want to adventure a little bit and you work from your computer. United Coffee Beans is my personal favorite. That's something that I would actually recommend. Second question, and that's a typical day, by the way. And then subway thing. Yeah, I have this question here. So why people have more cars in Baku? So our listener says she has seen a lot of cars in a small city. She has this impression that people dislike public transportation. And then she has this experience where she kind of, understood why. Look, Baku subway can actually only have up to 1 million passengers. Within the last months, they almost served 4 million passengers. And not in a good way, again, I agree. Because the jam, the morning jam, the midday jam with students, with school kids, with women that are rushing somewhere with lots of documentations. So it's a very small but busy subway. And not the best part of it is that there's not a lot of new wagons. So the wagons are extremely old. I do agree with that. And thank you for bringing that up as well. And the question goes like, how often do I myself personally use public transportation? Honestly, 0. And the follow-up question was, do you think I should buy a car? Do you think a car will solve my problems? Well, not exactly, but the car will bring the convenience that you're looking for. Personally, I would go for it. Even secondhand, why not? Secondhand options are available. There's an online website that you can take a look at. The only problem will be language barrier. So number 3 question, I go back to that one, is about language barrier. So one of the emails shared an interesting story saying that it was pretty hard to get English speaking stuff at the restaurant or some of the hotels, in particular 3-star hotel that he was staying. Well, English is a barrier, unfortunately, in Baku city, but not all the spots. For example, if you go to, let's say, a bit more 4 to 5-star hotels, international hotels like international recognized labels like Hyatt Regency, Marriott, Fairmont, Four Seasons. Of course, the entire staff is speaking flawless English. 4 stars as well, but if you go to those boutique small hotels, 2 stars, 3 stars in a city center, especially in old city, they do speak English, by the way, but those that are outside the city center, let's say the 3rd ring, close to the airport, yes, that might be a problem. Specifically and in particularly, the street called Ahmed Rajabli is filled with boutique small 2 to 3 star hotels. Some of them are named 4 star, but according to the local evaluation hotel star evaluation committee. So that is language is a barrier. The second spoken language will be Russian, and the 3rd one will be English, and the 4th one between German and French. Don't ask why. But so far I'm sure the staff is friendly enough. Everyone literally in the service industry in Azerbaijan is trying to understand the need and then follow up to it. I'll give it 2 more years before the new law requires all the service and hospitality related niche to have some sort of English certification or relevant English experience from 3 to 5 years. So, and the restaurants, well, if you go to extremely traditional restaurant, you might face the fact that you really need someone to translate. But any other than that, coffee culture, coffee-related restaurants, they do have a